Alright guys, so I forgot my GoPro, so I'm going to record this on my iPhone. Hopefully it turns out decent. I'm going to edit it on my iPad since it'll retain the quality instead of like trying to email it to myself and put it on my computer and then go through Adobe and all that. So we're here at the shop. I'm already actually on the lift, so we get the car up in the air and we're just going to go to town on these Verkline Anti-lift, Anti-squat. I'm going to keep them on the highest setting and just see how it feels from there. It should be good. Like, I don't see why it wouldn't be. It was great on the golf. It has nothing to do. The settings aren't based off of ride height or anything like I thought. I, for some reason, thought they were, but everything else basically is. So, damn thing. Hopefully they fit. I don't see why they wouldn't. They should. I'm really excited and nervous. I really want to test them out. I won't be able to like actually get some slow-mo in the daytime until probably Sunday. So, and today's Tuesday. So I'll have a good couple of days of riding around with them to give them a good impression before this video even comes out. So, actually no, dang. I guess this will just be an install video because I need this video out for Thursday. Sorry for rambling on. Let's get to work. If the video is crappy, I'm sorry. But I do want to document that these do fit on the Mark 8 and the 8Y. So let's get to it. All right, so got one out. The only difference I can really see is we got a spot right here for a clip for some arrow. Like the Mark 7s don't have this right here. There's a little plastic guy right here. It's really annoying to get out because it's got four like pins, little things that I broke most of them off. So like that will go in there, and that goes to the arm to hold up this piece of arrow, and that's on both sides. But otherwise it looks identical. I still got the other one up. We'll get this one in, see how much of a pain it's gonna be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, she's in. Gonna have to use some zip ties because I forgot to get new P clamps, as you can see, but it is in. It looks great. Just need to do the other side and figure out what I want to do about this arrow piece. I could definitely just smoke a hole through here, zip tie it up. I just don't know. I'm not sure what we could do about that. Could definitely maybe smoke a small hole through here. I'm not doing that though. Probably just do a little bit through the plastic, zip tie it here, call it a day. I don't know. Definitely gonna let Verkline know that they need to change that up. All right, so what I learned doing the other side is you want to break these two loose before you do these so that you have leverage. Once these are undone and you try and do these, this whole arm wants to jolt around. It made it very annoying. So break those two first, then do these, and I just cut the zip ties on the plastic bits there. So and then really you're just 2 bolts, 4 bolts, and it's done. I mean, it's pretty simple. The only annoying part is that these bushings in here are kind of really stiff, and there's a bushing up here that's really stiff as well. So to position this up there is kind of annoying, but other than that, it's really, really simple. All right, next tip, the smaller diameter bolt. You get 2 different diameters here. The smaller one goes in the bottom, and it has these collars on it to make up the diameter in these bushings. So top one in the top, bottom one in the bottom. Easily identifiable if you actually look at your knuckle. Big, small. I guess I'll show you guys this too. There's 2 different size, whatever you want to call these on this. Flat side goes towards the knuckle, and it's the thicker one that goes on this side. So thick, thin, flat sides facing the same way. This is flat up against this is flat up against that. On this one, you got the longer collar in the back versus the shorter one. These just snug right up on in. We'll throw them up. I did the bottom one first, got it almost pressing up against, and I swung this up, tightened this down, then I tightened them both, and then did these. As I was saying, get the bottom one in, mostly snug, and now that you have this leverage, you can kind of like, the bushing will stay because they are so stiff. So now you can kind of make this as parallel as you can, because this will affect the angle that the top bolt goes in. So you want to make sure this is mostly, I think that should be good. You'll swing it up, get it in. All right, guys, they're all in. I'm gonna hit up Verkline tonight with some pictures and information here about this. Let them know this is what I did. I just drilled a couple small holes and zip tied them on this line. It's pretty sturdy. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I did the same thing on this side for now. Really, the only thing I gotta revise is putting like a little spot right here for this to go into. So maybe they'll hook it up and send me a new top bracket for figuring this out for them. I don't know. They told me everything would fit, so maybe they do already know and just gonna tell me to screw off. Who knows, but they're in. Be looking out for the next video on more slow-mo launches and stuff on these bad boys. I cannot wait to go drive now. Oh yeah, they just look so good. Oh, and for anybody wondering what the Haldex looks like, to me it looks identical to the one that's in my Golf, but my memory is also trash. One thing I do notice though, so maybe not. Oh yeah, no, because it does still bolt in. I have to look at mine and get some up close pictures. But there's this too. I don't know if they're OPFs or what. I mean, there's no sensors going to them at all. So I don't think they're cats, but they could be secondary cats. Who knows? Maybe somebody can run this part number for me and find out. There's the other side. Yeah. The 034 bushing in there doing its thing. Oh, and it's a metal pan, not plastic. 2 pots. Got the 034 adjustable links there too. All right, there's anything, oh, I want to get that new racing line bar that goes here. Got the 034 sway bar already in here already, and adjustable end links. You can kind of see here. All right, just wanted to give you guys a quick initial impression. So when I installed this stuff on my Golf R, I did the whole rear end. I did the subframe, toe arms, camber arms, trailing arms, and then like had an extra brace on the subframe to make it stiff. And I thought that the subframe was doing most of that. Now, the subframe itself really isn't going to flex, but it centered it, and it obviously stiffer, lighter, whatever. These arms alone changed so much. I'm not shitting you guys. It changed a lot. My biggest complaint with these racing line springs is that they felt, the rear specifically feel softer than stock. I feel like the stock springs were stiffer than what I put in here. Anyway, putting these in feels like the spring ring went up. When I floor it, the car stays flat. When I brake hard, the car doesn't even like nosedive at all. And like I was in sport with traction off, and I took a turn, I mean hard, and that rear end started to step out. I had to like correct myself because there was traffic. I was like, holy shit. Like, geez, just these arms alone make a huge difference. Like, huge. So in this next video, we'll go out and we'll test 60 foot, and I'll do some like hard braking in front of the house, and you guys be able to see if the nose like really dives or anything. I should have did that before. I didn't even think about that till now, honestly. But like if your car is heavily modified, especially if it's an all-wheel drive car, Mark 7, Mark 8, 8V, 8Y, whatever, you need to get your hands a set on these arms. I'm telling you. Plus, like the stuff in the rear, like the toe arms specifically, when I was back there, I could grab them and just twist them. So like, and the trailing arms too, like they can just flex. Like when you're launching, the suspension in the back, like the alignment settings are going to be all over the place because all the suspension components are like flexing. Your toes moving, your camber's moving, everything's like going out of whack because all the stress from the power of the car going to them. You can even like imagine at 500, 600 horsepower, how much that rear end stuff is going to be flexing. So like, I feel like all this stuff, you gotta remember, like Volkswagen, these cars are not like track cars. They're not meant for a lot of the abuse that we put them through. You know, like all this stuff is just stamped steel, cheap, you know, barely just good enough to work and last as a commuter car. If you're tracking your car, if you're doing digs and, you know, all these different types of things, you need to upgrade these parts because they're paper thin. The bushings are like total like, you just need to upgrade. Trust me, trust me, this is like probably the best purchase you can do alone. If you're trying to get a better 60 foot, if you're trying to break later into an Apex, any of those kind of things, you need to highly consider Verkline parts. I'm not paid by them. I'm not sponsored by them. This is like a no shit. Y'all need it. I'm like mind blown. I wrote like 3 paragraphs, probably more than that, to the boys in the group chat, telling them like how I'm mind blown that these arms alone just did that, let alone what the rest of the stuff can do for you. I barely got any track time on that stuff, and I was like madly in love. I cannot wait to throw the rest of that stuff on the car. Anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling. I am starving. I am tired. It's been a long day. Hope you guys like this video. Hopefully the quality's not butt. There probably wasn't an intro, but just know, the hour that it took to install these, and I mean they are a little expensive. There's a link down in the description, and now they have a US distributor, so you don't have to wait for them to come from overseas and pay an import fee, yada yada yada. Yeah, just stay tuned for the next one. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip flop.